Hello guys, it's Cristina here and today we are going to create this look. If you like this video, then make sure you subscribe to my channel. You push the ring bell button so you are notified every time I'm posting a video. And I hope you'll also comment, leave me down below your thoughts. Let me know if you like this type of content. Thank you very much and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Okay. So let's get started. Now I'm wearing a little bit of foundation and powder and a little bit of blush because I went to work like this today. I didn't even put some mascara because I wanted for this to be pretty easy when I take off my makeup. And not that I'm doing something special, but I wanted to show you also how I take off my makeup. Let me take a napkin to place my humongous beauty blender. So let's get started. I'm going to use some Bioderma micellar water, place it on a pad, and I'm just going to rub my face, but very gently. I don't squeeze the skin too much. I'm very gentle around the eyes. And now you will see that I have a little bit of acne. It's something that appeared, I think probably around the age of 27. I don't know why exactly, because I didn't really had any problems in my teenage years. It simply started to appear, and I had periods when it was much worse than this. And now it's like a pimple or two that are bigger, and the rest of the face is just full of small scars. And what I noticed is that every time I take antibiotics, they completely go away. The doctor gave me a prescription for 10 days of antibiotics, and for 4 months I was super happy. My skin looked really good, but they started to appear again. And I know it's because I think the antibiotics stopped working, but I'm going to see whether there are other kind of treatments so I don't take antibiotics. We'll see. Anyway, let's start. I'm going to use Lauder Mercier foundation primer, the hydrating one, and I'm going to apply it with my fingers all around my face. And usually when I go to work, I don't really apply primer. I only apply hydrating cream, but when I go to an event, I always put some primer that helps with the oil, and this is the Smashbox, the original photo finish smooth and blur, because I have some redness on my skin, which is probably not that visible, but in real life it is. I'm going to use some SOS primer that has a green tint that will help me with covering the redness. By the way, if you have stories with acne that disappeared, please let me know how you did it. I'm super interested to find out. Until this sets on my face, I will start doing the makeup for the eyes, and I'm going to use from MAC the Prolongwear concealer in C20 shade. And I put a little bit on my hand, and then I either apply it with my fingers or with a brush, a synthetic one, and I put it on my lid and I apply it all around under my eyebrow, near my nose. After this I am powdering, and usually I use a pretty fluffy brush. This is the one. And for powder I use from Lauder Mercier the loose setting powder, and I apply it on my lids. After I do this, I always start with a liner. I'm going to use a liner from Maybelline, Eye Studio liner. If I put it on my lids, it lasts more than 20 hours. Also, it lasts very well on the waterline. So this is my treasure. And I have it in black, but it just finished, so I'm going to use it in brown. So I took some eyeliner, put it on my hand, and I'm going to use a brush from Sigma E36. This is the one. and I always make sure that the end that I took the eyeliner with, it's wiped off, otherwise I find myself covered in eyeliner. So I take a little bit on my hand, I warm it up a little bit, and let me show you how I do my eyeliner. Because I have a bit of a droopy eyelid here, I take the mirror, bring it closer. So what I do, I look down in the mirror, and I always continue the lower lash line in the direction of the end of my brow or to the temples, depending if I want to make it higher or lower. But I usually like it to be a little bit upwards because I think it's much feminine and cat eye type of look. So I continue the lower lash line. And it's a simple stroke. And afterwards, I always check where my eyelid is drooping. Let me bring you even closer. So the stroke is here, and now I always check where the crease falls at the end of my eye. So it's in two places. One is here, and the other one is here. So if I want to go with a more delicate line, I always merge the first stroke with the lower point. If I want a bolder one, I merge with the second point. So because now I marked it, I wanted to make the bolder eyeliner. So I make sure I have a good line, and then I don't go with the actual end of the stroke, but a little bit lower and merge it with the highest point. So something like this. And now I have like a small triangle. I merge it with the lash line, and then I do the normal body of the liner. I take some more from my hand. So that's the body. And when I want to fill in the triangle and connect the two dots that are remaining, I always look in the mirror, but like in a position that folds my eye. So I do a stance that kind of continues from the eyelid to the brow bone. So let's do like this. I connect the middle dot with the body of the eyeliner, and then I fill it in. And then I make sure that this one is pretty strong. Okay. So now I always check that I stand straight and look directly in the mirror and check if I like the form. And because I don't like my eyes to look very wide apart, I always take the line to the end of my eye, because this gives it, in my view, a nice form of the eye. So, and this is the part I don't like, because I don't know, I feel uncomfortable when I put the brush on this side of my eye. I don't like it, so I sometimes help myself by doing this. So this is something I would normally do for the shape of my eye. So I did the other eye off camera. Take as much time as you need if you want to do such a look, and go ahead and perfect it. Let's go ahead and apply some eyeshadow. And for today I am planning to use a palette that is very dear to my heart, and it has been created by the first, I think it's the first YouTuber that I started to watch on makeup about probably 7 years ago, and it's let me show you. It's the Jacklyn Hill palette. And probably you know Jacklyn because now she's very famous. I remember the video when she got 1 billion followers, and she was so happy, so happy. And I think that was the moment when I thought, I want to become like her. I have many years of work ahead of me, but that's not the problem. I really enjoy this thing, and it took me so long to get here, and I'll probably tell you the story of how I got to do this, but in another video. Right now I'm going to use this palette, and I'm going to start by using a fluffy brush, a blending brush. It's very similar to the Sigma one. And I'm going to take from the palette this color and start with my crease. This color is not that dark. It's a beigey color, and I want this to be my transition color. And I don't care if I cover a little bit the wing, but I want to do the shade now. And now, because I want to deepen this shade, I'm taking a smaller blending brush, and now I am taking and I'm dusting off the excess and putting it in my crease, but a bit lower than the previous shade. And now, because I want to deepen even more the shade, I'm taking a smaller brush that has a dome shape. I'm taking a darker shade, tapping off the excess, and now I'm putting it even lower in my crease. I want a little bit more here, and I take it a little bit towards the wing, and I don't take it very close to my inner eye because I don't want my eyes to look very close together as well. Next step is to put an even darker brown shade in my crease, and this time I'm using an even smaller brush with no brand on it, but it's very small, and I take this shade, tapping off the excess. I take my eyebrow a bit up so I see where I want to place it, and it's right in the crease this time. I blend it a little bit on the lid as well, right in this triangle. Now it's time to put the lighter shade in the middle, and now I'm going to use a flat brush, and I'm going to use this shade and place it very close to the previous eyeshadow, but on the lid this time. And to be honest, these kind of shades that have sparkle in them, they layer very well if they are applied with a finger, but this time I'm going to apply them with my brush. And now I'm going to take an even lighter shade and place it closer, and I'm going to use this one. And take it almost to the middle of my lid, and I'm also taking it up here because I like that it makes my eye a little bit more open. I brought it even closer because I feel like it's not very visible. And now I'm going to take an even lighter shade, which is this one, with the same brush, and apply it right under my eyebrow. But I'm not taking it too far, just under the highest point of my brow bone, and blending it a little bit. And then I'm taking one of the brushes, the one that is a bit smaller, and blending all together here. And after I've done this, I go back to my liner and I make sure that it's again very visible. So I'm taking and make sure that the line is visible. So this is the final line, okay? And now we are going to apply the foundation. And for this, I'm going to take it back a little bit, okay? It's much comfortable this way. Okay, and for foundation, I'm going to use a Double Wear Light in intensity 01, in shade 01. And I'm going to apply it with this humongous beauty blender. It's from iMagic, and I'm going to put it directly on the beauty blender and just apply it by using also tapping motions, but also wiping motions. And especially in the areas where I applied the green primer, I don't want to wipe. And on my forehead, and I take it a little bit on my jawline. And now I'm going to use the same concealer I use for my eyelids, and I just apply it here under my eye and take it a little bit downwards. And I apply it with the same brush that I used for my lids. It's a synthetic brush, very easy to use. I think it applies the product very well. If I feel the need, I take the beauty blender and just tap off the excess. And now I look weird. And because I want the concealer not to crease, I always apply powder right after, otherwise it creases and I don't like it. So I look up with my face down. I know it's weird, but it works, trust me. Okay. And now I always set my entire face because I'm oily. And I'm taking a big fat brush. I put some powder here and then I just tap it on my face. Next step is to finish off the eyes, and I'm going to use one of the middle brushes, so not the largest one. And I'm going to take this shade and putting it under my eye. And I don't want it to be very precise, but I want it to kind of create a halo around my eyes. So I'm blending it and taking it a little bit upward here. And now I'm taking this brush that we have used previously with this shade, and I'm applying it right under the eye. And now I'm taking the smaller one and taking the darker shade and placing it right at the base of my lower lash line. Just taking this darker shade under my wing a little bit. I always like my makeup to have like a very white eyeshadow trace here toward the temple. Now I'm going to use the sparkly shade and placing it in the first half of my lower lash line. And I'm going to use this one in the lightest shade and place it in my inner corner. And I'm always taking it upwards, not down. And I'm going to apply some mascara, and I am using Lash Sensational from Maybelline. And try not to put mascara on my hair. And this mascara, I feel it's great because I feel it calms my lashes, it makes them look very full and long in the same time, and I feel like the form of the brush helps the corner lashes to be very, very high. I mean, look. And I'm applying mascara to the bottom lashes as well, because I like my eye to look much open, like this. And now, until the lashes dry off, I'm going to bronze my face a little bit so I don't look that white anymore, like a ghost. So I'm going to use a brush from Mercier. This is a very old brush. I think I have it for 5 years or more. And I am going to use a palette from MAC, and I'm going to take a little bit of this and a little bit of this, tap off the excess, and start my contouring from the upper part of my ear towards my mouth, but I'm stopping right about here, I would say. Normally it's recommended that you stop at the end of the brow, but if I do that, I'm looking weird. So I'm going a bit deeper into my face. I'm always blending it. And I always blend upwards. Okay? And then I do the same thing on the other side. And the next step is going to be blush. And for this one, I'm going to use a Milano blush Luminoso, which is actually very, very nice. And it's not that pigmented, and it already has some light in it, some highlighter. And I'm going to place it right above the contouring. And I put a little bit on my nose as well, and the rest on my forehead. Actually take a little bit more to put on my forehead because I feel like it's too colored here and the rest is too white. Then I am going to apply some highlighter, and for this I'm going to use this amazing palette that I just bought from Dior. And it's actually, I really like the way it highlights. It has some particles that look so good in real life under the light. Hopefully the camera will catch it. I place it here, and I'm combining two shades, this one and this one, which are called Peach and Glitter Strobe Pink Gold. So these two, the rosy one and the peachy one. The next step is to do eyebrows and lips, and I think we're pretty done. So I'm going to use a pencil from Yves Rocher, and I'm just going to take my eyebrows upwards and fill in some of the gaps. and not the entire brow because it's pretty dense already. I just add what I feel like it needs a bit more help. And I fill in the arch and then take it downwards because here I have like a bit of lack of hair, and just fill in a little bit more until the tail. I feel like they look good now, and for lips I'm going to use lip liner from Sleek. It's in the shade Nude 995, and it's actually something that I really like to wear on the entire lip because, as you can see, my lips are pretty thin and I almost never wear dark lips, so I'm lining my lips. And then I put it all over my lips. And if I want to add something extra, I use a lipstick from Lauder. It's a matte one. And if I want to make my lips thicker, I use lip gloss, and this is one from Makeup Forever, Aqua Rouge, and I'm just going to put it on top of what I have. And at the end I use the spray, the Fix Plus from MAC, and I'm just applying on my face. It smells so good. So guys, this is the finished look. I hope you like it. I really like how it came out. I think it complements the shape of my eye and also the shape of my face. So make sure you subscribe, you push the notification button so you make sure that you are notified whenever I'm posting videos. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!